Welcome to Freeform Radio on the Freeform Network. You can follow us at Facebook at Freeform Network and X at FFR Podcast. And remember to send your questions and suggestions to ffnquestions@gmail.com. There, hit us up, likes, comments, criticisms, whatever. We'll take it and we'll review them. But Freeform Radio, we got Danny.
Yes, sir. Man, I am hungry, man. So we're going to have to power through this podcast so I can go eat.
And then we got Noel.
Hey, thank everybody for joining us.
And we got It's All Good Andy. Want to thank you guys for joining us. We're going to get this going because Danny might get hangry here throughout the podcast. So keep an eye out for that, fans. But yeah, we're going to get going, and then let's see what's going on with Noel. I see he beat a PC game, Dishonored. What's all that about, Noel?
So yeah, this game I got not too long ago. It was a couple years ago, but it was just kind of in the back burner. I didn't really have the mood to play a game yet, and now that I got my new PC, so I've been playing a bunch of the old games that I had on the back burner, and yeah, I got around to this one. This one came out in 2012. And then they have a new definitive edition that kind of remastered, I guess, a bit or updated some stuff. Anyway, it's a pretty simple game. It's an action adventure game, first person, and you have this medieval setup kind of. So you have this old school gun, like when the pirates are around, and you have a sword that you use, and you're essentially an assassin that is trying to bring about justice because somebody framed you for killing the empress and the empress of the country. And so the daughter gets kidnapped, and you're pretty much trying to find the daughter. You're trying to bring justice to all this chaotic stuff that's going on in politics. And you're also trying to kill the least amount of people, which is usually the other way around. You want to kill the most, right, in the game. But this game, you actually get penalized the more you kill. If you are stealthy and you accomplish your mission with no casualties, you get bonuses for that, and the ending of the story can change a little bit. So you already know how I play. I'm not trying to, save people. I'm trying to I'm trying to save the girl, but I'm just mowing down people to get to this, to the victory. So at the end of it, I got the bad ending, kind of. I got the ending where things are in chaos because I was just mowing people down. I didn't care. But it was still a cool game. It's a short one, maybe about 10 hours, 10, 12 hours, depending on how you play. I kind of just powered through it. I heard number 2 is better than the first one, so I have that one ready to go. So my review of the first one is it's fun. It's the intro to this new mechanics that's it was just cool to try different. You get these abilities in the game where you can do teleportation. You can use you can summon these plague rats that kill and devour people. You could see through walls and see where people are or items that you need to get. And these are all limited abilities that you kind of have to use energy for, and you replenish. It's kind of like an RPG of sorts, because you can upgrade your kind of your skills and all that. So it was cool. I would give it maybe a 7.3, 7.4, something like that. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't the best game in the world or anything. It looks good in 4K, especially on an OLED. But from 2012, this is already over 10 years ago. It is definitely dated. Have you ever played this, Daniel?
Yeah, man, I actually really enjoyed Dishonored. It's got this weird whale blubber thing in the background. It's currency or something from what I remember. It was a while ago since I played it, so correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, it's some whale blubber is something, some kind of big commodity in the world.
So it's their gasoline kind of.
Okay, yeah, I remember it was a big part of their world economy or something. But yeah, man, I really dug Dishonored. I played it, beat it a few years ago before they came out with the definitive edition. But yeah, man, I still think the graphics kind of hold up because it's got this kind of anime cel shaded kind of look to it, where in a 4K environment, it doesn't really like look like, oh man, this is like some Polygon Tomb Raider Part 1 kind of thing. It's like it kind of looks still okay. But yeah, I really dug the mechanics. I like the stealthy approach as well, but I like the just guns blazing stuff as well. But yeah, I played it stealthy, tried to use all my powers, summon the rats to kill people, to keep me sneaky, making noises in other areas so that people walk away, and I just go up and stab them in the neck. So it was all really cool stuff. It was a really fun game. I did try to play part two, just a little preamble for you, but it didn't really grab me as much. I didn't really care for part two as much, but hopefully, you stick to it and you dig it as well.
Definitely, man. I'll have to let you know how it turns out. I'm gonna probably play it pretty soon. I don't know if it's gonna be my next game, but it's gonna be in the next few. Um, yeah, and you're right. Like it does hold up better than other games of that era because of the art style of just the visuals. It does look good. Don't get me wrong. It's just I could tell it came from 2012.
Right.
Especially just because the way games are now, UE5 and all that stuff. It looks way different than back then, but it's still good. Yeah, so definitely worth a try for anyone that's never played it. Um, Andy, are you into like stealthy games at all, or what kind of games are you even into?
I'm like you, dude. I'm a first-person shooter guy. I just want to go in there blasting away. I don't
Yeah.
like all that stuff. Danny, he gave me, I think Assassin's Creed on a PlayStation 3. I forget which one, and I tried it. I can be that stealth guy. I just like shoot 'em ups and yeah. As soon as he said stealth, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna play this. I like a little bit of it, like maybe like a part of a segment of the game, like a level. But other than that, I'm good. But no, I never heard of this game. Interesting. So is this like a game that's dated like in 1800s, or is it like post-apocalyptic stuff, and they make whale blubber the currency of the world or something?
So I don't know the time period, but it is like older era, like it's like a steampunk era, like it's
Ah, okay.
um I think it does say references from the early 1800s
Mm-hmm.
and early 1900s. So I believe that's the era, but yeah, so they use this like whale oil or something like that. It's like whale fat and blubber oil to power these like cyberpunk steampunk type machines, and there's like things that will prevent you from going to other areas. They have like these like transformers that are like shooting electricity across, so it's like a barrier you can't get through. You have to like disable the power source and take out the whale blubber canister that powers it. So you got to sneak around and stuff. It is definitely more on the stealth. So yeah, you might not like this one. I think for you, probably the Doom series would be great.
Yeah,
That
I played that one. A lot of versions of it too.
Yeah, those are real fun. But
Yeah, those were good back in the day.
yeah, I'm actually gonna start. You know what? That might be the next game I play is the Doom from 2016, because Doom from 2016 came out, well, 2016, and then they had another one, Doom Eternal, that was maybe like 3, 4 years later or something like that.
Hmm.
And then they're coming out one this year. It's Doom Dark Ages, right? I believe it's called. So I'm actually excited for that one, and I heard it's a trilogy, like it's sequels one after another. So I'm gonna start with 2016, play that, because I just recently beat Doom 3 BFG edition, and that was fun, man. It was great. So 16 looks fun too. Eternal got Game of the Year, I believe, or it won like awards for being a good game. So yeah, I'll play those two, catch you up, and then be ready for that Dark Ages, man. But
Sweet.
yeah, that's pretty much the gaming I've done recently. I've been trying to like balance things out. The next thing I did was I started watching this anime again that I watched back when I was well, I guess a kid, man, 18. I was when I was watching this for the first time. Bleach. It's a cool anime about um like these demon slayers. They're called Shinigami, so they're kind of like soul reapers, but they protect the innocent souls that are being preyed upon by like demons, and they call them hollows in the show. and these hollows want to consume the energy of the spirits that are weak and as well as the living. And so they try to maintain balance. So these Shinigami go out. They're like dressed like samurais. So they're wearing like these black like whatever you want to call robes, or I forgot what the kimonos I think they're called. So they wear these like black kimonos. They have these cool swords and they have abilities, and it's a kind of like a Dragon Ball Z type of show. So it's like people yelling and powering up and just attacking, and so it's a lot of flashiness. It's a lot of cool fight scenes and action pace. The problem is it does have a lot of fillers, and I don't know if you guys watch a lot of anime, or I know back in the day you did, Daniel. Do you know what fillers are? Hello?
I think by his silence, he doesn't know.
I
I
guess.
know the only thing I know
Oh,
of
sorry,
Bleach.
my mic was muted. But now, isn't fillers like where like the episodes don't help push forward the main like story arc?
Exactly, yeah. They there's a lot of shows that will do that. They kind of like pad the show and let the comic, because they usually go off the comic. So there's a comic that comes out way in advance. They get a chance to animate it and they start doing it. Meanwhile, the comic is still releasing new issues. And so there's times where they kind of like catch up, or they get close enough that the business or the company decides, let's put in like a season. So like maybe it could be a full year, right? Because it's like one episode a week, so you could have half the year be wasted watching BS episodes that have nothing to do with the main plot. Sometimes they're okay. They make like a decent subplot and it'll even be referenced in the main plot. But in this show, Bleach, I want to say there's like 100 plus episodes throughout the whole series that mean nothing really. Um, and so thankfully I knew which ones to skip because I wasn't watching it week to week like when I was a kid. So I was able to just skip through a bunch of the filler BS and just get right down to the good, the nitty gritty stuff. And it's been fun so far. I'm like maybe halfway through, and watching it on 4K OLED, it's way different than back when I first watched it. I was 18, 2006, when maybe DSL modem, so it was maybe what, like 3.5 megabits per second, and then just trying to stream with all of us using the internet and just streaming it in like 240p, 360p. It's just low bit rate, crappy style, dude. And so yeah, watching it again in 4K, man, it's just nostalgic at this point because it's been over 10, well, over 15 years since I've seen it. So really cool. And then surprisingly, they actually made a new show. So like this show finishes, but then they made a new one that continues like the story, and it's about to wrap up the final season. I think it's gonna be a fourth season. That'll be it. It'll be done, and that'll be it for that character in that world. But yeah, I know. I mean, you guys don't really watch a lot of anime nowadays, do you?
No, man. How many seasons is this thing? Is it like that other one that's like 20 seasons long? I forget what the other one, the one with the boat with the stretchy arm guy.
Oh yeah, the One Piece.
One Piece, yeah.
So it's not as long as that. No, One Piece is like over 1,000 episodes. Bleach is like I said, there's 100 filler episodes. So if you skip those, there's maybe only like 170 to 200 episodes that you actually see.
Okay.
So
It seems a little more doable if the genre seems interesting.
yeah, I mean it's a cool show, man. Like if you like Japanese stuff like the samurais, and if you like Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that, where they power up and they have these cool abilities, and like the dialogue is cool too, like the way they talk and banter with each other. Because in comic books, like when they fight, there's not really a lot of back and forth in dialogue. Maybe some words here and there, but in Japanese like anime, they have this like a tendency to have a complete conversation mid battle. And it's like, what are you guys like in real life? No one does this, but it's just they use it as a way to make the fight more impactful. because they're telling the story. They give a backstory to why they're doing what they're doing, and they sometimes they'll vocalize their thoughts so you can hear what they're thinking without them actually talking. So they do that a lot as well to kind of explain like, oh, this guy's gonna do this because I could see he's putting his weight on his left foot and like, just stuff like that. So it gets you more invested. And so if you ever get a chance, Bleach is much more digestible than One Piece. So if you are even at all interested in anime, highly recommend this one. It's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, that's pretty
Yeah, I
much what
know.
I've been up to.
I know Andy's watched like Fist of the North Star. At least that's what we used to watch back in the day.
Oh man, I love that show, dude.
Yeah, there was also like a live action version of that movie, which I've always wanted to see. I haven't seen it, but getting back to Bleach, the only thing I know about Bleach, it's my sister liked it, and I think it was like on Cartoon Network for a while, and then it just I remember, yeah, it wasn't around for a long time, and then yeah, the series, anime series, I don't watch too many of them, but if I do watch any type of anime, normally it's the movies. I was seeing a thing recently where Princess Monarchy, I don't know if you saw that, it was going to get re-released in IMAX. So I was like, man, it looks that's going to be kind of sweet. I remember they released that. It was like one of the first DVDs I bought, and it had voice actors from like the X-Files and all these like American shows, and that was it was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good, man. Going back to Bleach, it's one of those things like the Japanese comics are so much different than American comics that when I first got into it, it was like a breath of fresh air because I had been like it'd been oversaturated with like Marvel stuff and all that. But nowadays I kind of find this balance where I dip my toe into each, you know. So sometimes I'll watch something American, sometimes something Japanese. But yeah, again, if anyone is interested in like a good anime to watch, definitely recommend Bleach and just giving that a shot. Um, but yeah, moving on, let's go over to Daniel, who is actually also watching something comic book related, but this is the American comics, Superman and Lois. Man, fill us in. How is that going?
Yeah, Superman and Lois, man. I know you were a watcher of this show. It was around for 4 seasons. I so much so that I liked it that I thought the or the third season was the last one. And spoilers for some of you out there. He was fighting this monster called Doomsday. So I thought it was a perfect cap for season 3. They're fighting, they're duking it out, and the season ends with this like grand final, like big punch between both of them. And if you're a comic book viewer, you know that that is the way Superman died many years ago. You know, back in the '90s, it was one big final punch in the middle of like New York or wherever the heck they were at. But yeah, I thought the season ended great, and I was under the impression that that was the last one. And then you were the one that was telling me, Noel, that yeah, they're coming back for a fourth season. And yes, they came back. Superman does go through his arc of the death and everything like that. And you know what? I was kind of reluctant at first. I was just like, man, is this going to be any good? Are they dragging it for too long? But after watching it, I gotta say, I did kind of like it. It's still gave me a little bit of a feel like, hey, man, maybe they should have ended it in 3. I think it was a good ending because most people who are comic book fans know that after that is the death and then the arc of him coming back and all that good stuff. But yeah, man, it definitely took the show in a different direction, which the show was different to begin with because it showed a lot of Superman in his personal life with his 2 kids, the dynamic between him and Lois being a couple. The kids were a big part of the show. So the teenagers, you know, wanting to do teenage stuff and Superman, how does he handle it? So I really dug the show. The 4th season was the weirdest. The only thing that I did really like a lot about the 4th season was Lex Luthor. I thought that character was pretty cool. So I thought his arc in the season was really good. Noel, have you watched this 4th season? Have you finished it yourself?
No, actually. So I did have it on the list to watch, and I was gonna watch it, but then I saw that they released the physical media. It's not
Okay.
officially released, but they announced it, right? So I pre-ordered it. I believe it comes in April. So once it releases, I'll be able to watch that on my 4K player, and get the best quality version out of it.
Yeah, yeah. At the end of the season 3 is when Lex Luthor kind of shows up. The other 2 seasons, he's really not shown at all, almost. And this fourth season, he's in almost the entire arc. So really good show, really unique ending to the entire thing. The way the character ends and the way what happens to Lois, what happens to the kids, all the characters, they have like a dynamic change. So I really dug it. I really dug it. Too bad that it ended, but with them knowing that the show was going to end, I think it allowed them to button up all these mini story arcs, kind of like when you had mentioned before with Bleach. There's filler episodes. Well, this one, I think every episode is for the purposes of ending one of the smaller story arcs. So there's an ending for a lot of the main characters and giving them some finality. So I really dug it. Um, Unlike most shows or some shows that end abruptly and they never really get a finale, they never really get anything that kind of ends it all. I think this show does end in a good way. So I think you got a lot to look forward to, Noel.
Awesome, man. Glad to hear that.
Yeah, it wasn't the strongest of the seasons, but I think it still was serviceable for a Superman fan and for fans of the show.
You know what I've realized? Like most shows, and even the best, right? Like Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. Like these good shows, the endings sometimes are always like that. Like you're always like, the other seasons were better, because it's really hard to like end. I think something really good. It's just how it is.
Yeah, it is tough, and I'm sure you could probably rattle off a few off the top of your head, Andy, of shows that ended without even knowing that it was their final season.
Yeah, there's a ton of that. I mean, they just some of them get a sense like they're gonna wrap the show's over, and you feel like they end the show that season, and then it like comes back, and then they really end it, and then it's just like left in limbo. But yeah, the problem with good shows, because supposedly we had a renaissance of TV this past decade of quality, uh, well written shows, well shot, well directed. When they ended, a lot of people just they shit on it, and they don't know what to make of it, and it's uh, they keep making movies or like one shot movies afterwards, and sometimes you feel like that's not necessary. Like Breaking Bad when they made El Camino or whatever that movie that was on Netflix. I was like, I don't know if I needed this. And then they did the Sopranos, and because people were shitting on the endings, and then it, they just don't know how to end shows. Even like going back to like Seinfeld, the way it ended, people stitch shit on it. And then they did that weird Larry Curb Your Enthusiasm where the whole cast reunited for that fucking season. It was weird. I mean, it was funny, but like I don't know. They called it like another season of Seinfeld. When the people look back at it, um, yeah, I mean that's the problem. Like everybody on Lord of the Rings, everybody was shitting on that. Um, the
Yeah,
way X
it's
Files ended too, like it was they kept bringing it back and making movies, and like there's like no real ending. It's just like they don't know how to end it properly. I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I think recently that's like a big issue.
no, yeah, I think you're totally right. It is tough to finish a show. This show, Superman and Lois, just to recap, yeah, it ends very uniquely. So I think it's definitely different and it's definitely worth a watch, especially if you watch the first couple
How old is
seasons.
that show? Is that like recently? Like was that like in CW or something like that, or was it
Yeah,
a '90s one?
no, no, it just came out. The last season just came out this year. So I think they had a small hiatus while there was the strikes, but otherwise it's recent in the last 5 years, I would say.
Yeah, there's been so many Superman related shows recently. Wasn't there a show like Krypton or something, and that didn't last either?
Yeah, I
Regarding
think
Superman or Kryptonians or something.
yeah, I think that
Like
was on Noel's TV network, that sci-fi channel
the
that he
Sci-Fi
likes.
Channel.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was on one of those.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I didn't really watch that one.
Yeah, I never actually watched it either. It was on the agenda, but I think they canceled it like abruptly, so
Yeah.
it didn't seem worth investing in.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, go take a watch, especially if you're a Superman fan. I'm sure you'll enjoy the series. Some other things that I watched. I watched the Mufasa, the Lion King. With all the stuff that's going on with the Snow White kind of, controversy. I'm like, man, Disney's messing up. And I'm like, man, I haven't watched this Mufasa movie. I'm like, God, let me try to watch it and see if it's any good. And I watched it, and it is different. I mean, with it being live action, to me, Lion King is one of the great movies, the original. Even Lion King 2 is okay, but this Mufasa is different with it live action. I dug the story arc because it shows the making of, Mufasa basically, because it centers around him and his brother Scar. So there's him in the story as well. So it was really cool to see how that all manifests and how he started, how he was born, the brother angle, the dynamic with the family, and then just being, the everything that they go through with being prosecuted by other lions, stronger lions, fighting, and kind of it shows how they met Zazu, how Mufasa met his wife, and it was cool in that sense. It was just different. It was different from the Lion King. Another little quick tidbit about the Lion King. It brought up some memories from my wife. She brought up my maneuver of the Lion King, and she's like, yeah, you remember when we watched the original Lion King and those moves you used to pull? And I'm like, yeah, that was a patent move that I had there with the Lion King. I
It
didn't
didn't
try it.
work this time, Danny.
No, I didn't try it for this one. She was laying on the couch, and I was laying on the other couch just watching it. So no, we weren't sitting next to each other, but yeah, man, the Mufasa wasn't too bad. With all the Snow White stuff, I was just like, man, let me take a peek into something that's Disney related and see if it's any good. With it being a recent release, have you watched this, Noel? I know you're a movie watcher.
No, actually, the last Mufasa movie, or not the Mufasa movie, the last Lion King that they made, the live action one, I wasn't a big fan, man, and so that's why I didn't really have like this really urge to watch the Mufasa one. But maybe I'll give it a chance now that you gave it that review. I'm like, all right, maybe I'll come around and give it a shot.
Yeah, the story arc is cool. Seeing some of the backstory, like a prequel to Lion King. It didn't do too bad in the box office either. It was a 200 million budget and made 717. So it definitely made its money back and some. And I think it's praised somewhat. So I think people dug it, even though it's they kind of make fun of it because Pumbaa and I forget the other character's name. They come out at the start, and they're just like, "How come we're not in this movie?" And then, they're kind of making fun of it about how they're not a part of the story because he comes in when they meet Simba. So it was just really fun. Had all the usual little Disney tropes, love story, action, and the CG looked pretty nice. Looked pretty nice for what it is. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Andy, I know your little one is starting to watch movies. He probably gets fixated on one thing or the other. Has he gotten stuck on any Disney movies yet?
Yeah, he loves Cars
Okay.
and Toy Story. He could watch Cars religiously. The first one, we tried the other two. He's not. He could probably watch like half of them before he starts phasing out. The first Cars, yeah, he's really into. And the first Toy Story, he really likes that one. But yeah, I mean, he could watch that religiously. The Lion King, the live action one, going back to that, Me and my wife tried watching that. We couldn't watch it. It sucked. I didn't even know they made another one. And I know the remakes are they're all tanking for Disney, and there's a lot of political backlash about them. But yeah, I didn't even know this was being made, or it got made and it came out. And like I don't remember, I don't recall seeing anything about it.
Yeah, I didn't really know about it too much either. But like I mentioned, with all the Snow White, I was just kind of Googling around, and Mufasa came up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I never watched this. Let me check it out, see if it's any good. But yeah, man, I really liked more of the story being built, and it was okay. It was okay. So definitely a must watch. Andy, speaking of really quick on other controversies, this wasn't out of my notes, but any thoughts on the Dan Bernstein? Uh, they're not saying that they fired him, so I'm not sure if he fired or if he quit on his own. But he was a big staple of the Score Sports Radio, so him not being there now is going to be a big change.
I think yeah, this said he's not returning. He was put on hiatus for a week, and then that Friday, the time of this recording, they announced that he wasn't coming back. He wasn't going to be part of the. He's no longer part of the Score. That's what they announced it. They're not saying if he got let go or he resigned, but yeah, man, Bernstein, he was a and WSCR 670. He was a when I was listening to sports radio regularly. The Score was my website or my station. I didn't go much to ESPN. And Bernstein, he started as the Bears beat reporter for the Score. Then he got his show with Terry Boers, and then he was funny in the beginning, and uh, he wasn't like this pompous asshole that he became later. Like he would just talk down to everybody, and he berated some of the listeners, and he actually berated a lot of his personal co-workers that worked there. There's people who got let go as the station changed. They would criticize him a lot, and so he had this a long time coming. And then like the last couple of years, there's been a lot of issues with some of his comments. He made a comment about a female sports reporter that didn't go over too well. They had Barstool Sports. They had one of the guys pop up in the afternoon on the Score, and there was this recorded interaction where he was being a jerk to him, and people there was a backlash how he handled that, and then now this. I mean, I saw the whole thing. I don't know how much you know about it. The Twitter exchange that went back and forth with another online poster, but
Yeah,
Bernstein, he kind of to me, I mean, he was being Bernstein, how he is now.
right. It's like you said, I liked him many years ago, and these last couple years, he just became an asshole. And to me, it was funny on occasion, but he was so much that I just started really disliking him. So half the
Yeah.
time I would tune out. And yeah, I don't know too much of the scandal. I know he was, like you said, being a jerk with Eddie from Barstool Sports,
There you go.
and
Thank you. Yeah.
that's what started it. And then with this whole fishing fish thing, that's what kind of threw it off the edge, because he started talking crap about the kid that was making fun of him, and allegedly threatened, that he would go over there and kill him and his
Yeah.
family or something.
He's like,
So
I know, no, he didn't. He goes, I know where you live, and then I think another post he goes, do you really want to get your kids involved? Because you don't want me to be your enemy, because I'm good at being enemies or something. And then he says something like, your silence means that you are wrong or something. And then the guy reported it or something, and then he lost some charity event that he was a part of. They're like, we don't want to be a part of him, associated with him, and then this, and like he took it to the next level. Like he wasn't always like that, and I was talking to another coworker, and he was just like, yeah, he's just a jerk. Like he had a long time coming, and like that whole era of the Score is coming to an end, and he was like one of the last guys. There's another guy on there, Lawrence Holmes, but Yeah, I mean, he started from the bottom and worked his way up, and then once Terry Boers left and retired, they tried to give him his own show. It didn't work. He tried various hosts, and that kind of worked with a couple of them, but then he just became more and more. I don't want to say insufferable, but the way he talked to people who didn't agree with him was just like evident and in your face, and he talked to them, talked down to them a lot, and wasn't it when that wasn't necessary.
No, yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's still developing. It's still kind of new. Just happened a few days ago. So we'll have to see how the rest of it shakes out. But Andy, fill us in on some of this DoorDash and their new changes that they're doing, man.
Yeah, I mean, we all have. I mean, we've all used DoorDash, right? And I'm assuming you guys used DoorDash in the last year, right?
Whenever they give me those coupons, for sure.
So
Yeah,
you.
I think the last time I used it was maybe like 5 years ago.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. So none of you have like that DoorDash subscription, or like where you get like super deals or unlimited deliveries or something.
You know what I have is Grubhub Plus
Yeah.
or whatever, for because Amazon gives you the it's like a free thing. So
Oh,
I
like
just
an
use it.
add-on?
I mean, it's not an add-on, like it comes with your Prime membership. You get
Oh,
like
okay.
you get a bunch of stuff, right? Like movies, games, all sorts of stuff. And that was one of the things that happened like a year or two ago. They're like, "Hey, if you want Grubhub, you get like discounts and this and that." So,
That was
yeah, I've been
through
using
Prime?
that. hmm
Oh, I didn't know that. I mean,
You
we
could
don't
probably
use
still
either
get
of
it,
them
but
too much. Yeah. I mean, we use, if anything, we use the DoorDash, but it's been 8 months since we use it. Usually in the winter we might use it, but it's been a while. Well, the reason I bring it up is we all know how pricey those things can be with you order the food and the fees and the tips and everything. Well, we all seen if you shop online where you could do the buy now, pay later. Um, I know it's big on Macari and like eBay, and I think Amazon had something similar like that in the winter for Christmas. Well, they bringing that on. DoorDash struck a deal with I believe the name of the buy now, pay later company, Klarna, and they are making their stock went through the roof. So once you order food, they're gonna let you make installments on that food that you just ordered, or they're gonna let you pay later with interest, of course. And the alarm bells and Twitter and the social media stuff just went through the roof. And DoorDash's stock went through it, like it went up big time. And this just goes to show you what the hell is going on in this country. I couldn't believe it when I read it. I'm like, if you have to get credit to order DoorDash food, like maybe you shouldn't be ordering DoorDash food. So yeah, so like again, it just shows it's showing you what's going on with this country. Money's tight for people, and they're giving you credit to order food or start a tab with interest. Um, and I go to me, it's just like the obvious question, right? Like, why don't you just cook at home? Why you got to order a burrito bowl with like it's gonna be $12 and then another like $12 in fees with delivery, so it's doubling the price, and now you're gonna pay interest on that thing. Come on, man. You gotta have some sense and be you gotta make some you gotta mature, make some adult decisions here on your money. If you gotta get a loan to pay that off. So that's why I'm asking if you guys use it. I mean, every time I use my wife, she's like, they're charging us. The food's already marked up, so it's more than if you would go into uh to the restaurant, and then they're gonna charge you their fees and taxes, and then the delivery fee, and then plus a tip. So they're like this, like it almost doubles in price. The last time I got anything delivered, I think it was Jersey Mike's, and I usually do it when they have free delivery. And the food is obviously a lot more. I would say it's about 3% more, or maybe a little bit more than that. But and then someone shows up, and then I got to tip them a couple extra bucks. So A sandwich that's at the store would be like $11 with tip, and even if I tip the person, and then the food's marked up, I'm paying I think like $17 for a sandwich when at the store it's say like $11 or $10. You know?
No, yes, it's definitely expensive. It sounds like you use it quite a bit, Noel, but I'm too cheap, man. We just bought some tacos yesterday from this local place by here, and yeah, they offer DoorDash or Grubhub or one of those or both. But I like, nah, I'm not paying marked up pricing and then paying delivery fees and then paying tips. I'm like, I'm just gonna go pick it up. It's a 5 minute drive. I'll just go get it.
Isn't your time valuable then? I think you could be sitting watching a movie comfortably.
No, for sure it is, and that's the trade off. Is if your time is valuable to that point, then yeah, for sure. And there is a time for stuff like this. Like if you're sick, if your kid is kind of giving you trouble, and it's more hassle to bundle them up, like you said in the winter. It's a pain in the ass to take them out, sit them in the chair. So I get it too. There is a necessity for it sometimes. But for me, I just jump in the car and I'll drive. But when was the last time you used it, Noel?
Yesterday, actually.
Nice.
I use Grubhub, not DoorDash.
Right, Grubhub. And
But
I don't finance this stuff. Like I pay my bill at the end of the month. I have a card that gets me rewards, so I use that for any kind of stuff like this. And then at the end of the month, I just pay whatever the bill is, so I don't get charged interest. And not to mention, I'm using a zero interest card anyway, but I still pay it off, so that way, just getting that habit, People nowadays, man, they're not that responsible, dude. And what can you do? Like sometimes you got to make those mistakes and learn from them. And so, but yeah,
dude, you're gonna see stories where it's like I watch shows like how Dave Ramsey is. He's a financial guy. There's a couple YouTubers that are finance guys, and they start breaking down your debt. You're gonna start seeing some stories of people they're gonna be in debt to DoorDash or that Klarna shit for like 5 fucking grand over like 6 months, and your people's jaws are gonna drop because you said they don't want to grow up and like this. It's gonna be fucking hilarious, dude. Like I can't imagine like these people, these kids in their 20s, in their 20s, just doing this shit because it's all so easy, right? You just click on the app, boom, 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 you order your food and shit's here like in less than an hour. And like everybody's like, we're having a great time. I'm like, I'm gonna pay later. It's okay. And then when it's time to pay the piper, you're gonna see like in 3 years, you're gonna see people declaring bankruptcy because they owe DoorDash or this company like tens of thousands of dollars, along with like all this other like their credit cards and all that stuff because like there's people just they're not making the best decision and like just open a fucking can of soup and heat it up, and like or we're definitely living in an age of in this country where nobody wants to sacrifice a lot, especially when it comes to food. And like they're like, I just need to have it. Like I want to drive by, get my coffee every day, or get my fast food or whatever. And then the pandemic really sped that process up where like have your McDonald's delivered home and have your fast food delivered. And I think I always thought like, who the fuck's gonna do that? But apparently it's a big industry. And I'm wondering what kind of metrics DoorDash had to say, you know what, we need something where to entice people to buy, order now and pay later. Like I just they had to be some metrics or something to tell them that you need this, and it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. I can't wait to start seeing that data roll out, man, because you're gonna see what people are doing to I don't want to say survive, but what they're doing to feed their families because I was telling my wife, we did a podcast. I don't know if you guys remember. I think I brought it up where for the first, I think it was like right like 2020 or 2021, where the first time where Americans surpassed in going out to eat and take out food than groceries in a month. And
Yeah,
like
I
that was
remember that.
changing that dynamic of this country where we're like, yeah, we only eat out on the weekends and all this. and it goes to show you people in this country were ordering out just about every other day, or more than once. I think 3 times a week, and it was just like, well, what does that mean? And now we're ordering out and give us credit on that.
Yeah, I think it's maybe something that they're trying out and see how it works because it does work for Amazon and for Walmart orders and stuff like that, which makes a little more sense because it's a little bigger of a payment, or presumably they're buying something a little more. But for a hamburger, I don't know if you want to go in debt and pay interest on that. But granted, man, eating out is getting expensive as well. I mean, all three of us ate yesterday and it was like $50. So for tacos, some rice and beans, $50, that seems like a lot. But,
The old saying, then. Hay frijoles en la casa. What happened, man?
yeah, I know, man. I mean, the tacos were great. I got me some shrimp tacos and a couple
Damn.
de rachera. They
Damn.
were delicious. So, but yeah, it is getting expensive out there. So if your Grubhub or DoorDash is $50, I could see trying to finance that maybe.
Man.
It is gonna be. It is
Yeah.
just like for one fucking sandwich. That's the thing. And like I think we ordered Mexican food like in October, and I got like a burrito, and she got some tacos. After everything, it was like $40 fucking. I mean, something if we would have gone there, it would have been like $18, $20. It's just like it's always double of what you pay, and it just adds up, man. That's why we would do it like once in a while, but yeah, it adds up quickly.
That's one of the reasons why I usually use it when I get coupons. So it'll be like 35% off if you spend over 20. Or when they give you like free stuff, they'll give me like a free baconator if I get Wendy's. And
Damn.
I just had to order something else, like a few other things. But I would order anyway, right? Like I was hungry and I was gonna order anyway. And yeah, you do pay a little bit of that convenience fee, man. And
Yeah.
the only thing I could say to like kind of it is responsible for somebody to not be intoxicated and go driving to a fast food and just instead order it, right? So in a way, they are helping prevent, stuff going on like accidents and all that from people driving when they shouldn't be.
Man, like, well, that's what I'm saying. I get it. It's a choice. It's a great convenience. But with this, I gotta see. Like, I can't wait till numbers start coming up because it's gonna show, who's ordering this, right? I think we're gonna be like, we're expecting people in their 20s or teenagers or something. It might be where it's like a family of four putting groceries on there, like Danny said. I know a lot of people, they do a lot of that too. And they're like, well, we could get like $100 worth of groceries if we pay like $25 right now or something. And we can spread out the payments. Because that's another thing. It lets you defer the payment, or it lets you spread out the payments in 4 payments. Usually that's how all that works. Um, Maybe that's what's going on. I mean, I don't know. It's the one economist did say that just shows the economy is in bad shape and maybe like a possible recession's coming. Um, I think it's just, I think it's how you keep poor people poor, and they want to do it like everybody else because it's easy and you can't afford to do easy. So, I mean, that's what I personally think. When I was cash strapped and I was living check to check, I like telling my wife this story. I did a lot of grocery shopping at the Dollar Tree. And let me tell you something, that wasn't the best quality of food, but that's what I could afford at the time during the recession, the Great Recession now, as they call it. But yeah, that's the shit that I had to do to get by, and I definitely wasn't going out to eat to any fast food because money was real fucking tight.
Yeah, for sure. You're responsible.
Is that what it is then? I'm responsible.
Well, either that or cheap.
No, man, it was cheap because I had to be cheap because that's all I could afford. Danny didn't invite me to these good ass tacos or nothing.
Hey,
But let us know what you guys did. If that's not what you do, you take the payment plan for DoorDash at ffnquestions@gmail.com. Let us know what you guys think. Your thoughts on that? Taking interest, low interest loans to get any type of food, or like even pizza. Like the delivery fees are like $3 and shit. But yeah, let me know. Let us know, and then we look to what you guys are willing to say, because I have a feeling a lot of people are gonna take that, and it's gonna be 3 years. We're gonna see a lot of people. I mean, shit, in a year you're gonna see a lot of people. These horror stories of they're in debt because they DoorDash their dinners like and lunches every fucking day. But with that being said, man, let's transition to something even more sadder. It's gonna be our article of the week. So the article of the week, it's a work related issue, and it's for people who are working far away from civilization. I found this article interesting because the New York Post had an exclusive here. So it says there's an Antarctica research crew trapped in an icy hell with a coworker who snapped and started attacking to him. It sounds like a cheesy B movie here, you know. The article goes on to say 9 members of an Arctic expedition are locked up together at a research station 2,000 miles from civilization, and one of them is a madman, accused of violently beating, threatening, and sexually harassing at least 2 of his teammates. The Post can reveal that the South African crew of 3 women and 6 men includes a glamorous doctor with her own skincare line and a deputy team leader who helped produce a short horror film during the previous stay at the station, along with engineers and meteorologists. They won't be relieved until December, when the temperatures in the South Pole are at the warmest of the year. They have some pictures posted, but what happened is it goes, but the broad smiles and thumbs up as they flash the pose for pre-mission photos are short-lived. According to urgent emails fired off to authorities from the base, an unidentified male member became deeply disturbed within a week's arrival. This was despite the complaint alleged that authorities being warned about his behavior. The message was alleged the crew member assaulted and sexually harassed colleagues, even threatened to kill one of them, creating an environment of fear and of intimidation, The Guardian reports. His behavior has escalated to a point that is deeply disturbing. I remain deeply concerned about my own safety and constantly wondering if I might become the next victim. The roster that gives the names of the doctors. They're not really saying who's the one that went crazy. But they go on to report currently there is no plans to rescue the research team, leaving them trapped at the base without any outside contact until December, when a supply ship is due to show up. There were no incidents that required any of the 9 overwintering team members to be brought back to Cape Town. On the base is calm and under control, a spokesman said. The ministry later said that it was not uncommon for some crew members to experience adjustment period after arriving in the desolate location. The authorities said they've been talking to him daily. The government claimed the dispute was a task that the team leader wanted the team to do, whether dependent tasks required a schedule change. And it goes on to give a little bit more details, and then where the location is at and all this. But what's funny is one of them guy produced a horror movie about this, and then like another one has created a skincare product. Like I said, it sounds like a really bad B movie. I don't know, and like it, I wonder when they how much things are under control. But what do you guys' thought if you were working in an enclosed base or something where you couldn't leave for another 6 months basically, or 8 months, sorry, and you were scared for your life? I think I would try to get out of there, or I think maybe the government's not saying everything. I mean, but with going off of this, if you're sexually assault or I'm sorry, harassing, not assaulting, harassing people, how we take that seriously now. I think it would have been more the government would have taken it more seriously. It was sexually assault issues.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, stress can make you do a bunch of crazy things. Not Rick James cocaine style, but you can do a bunch of crazy stuff when stress is implemented, especially if you're away from your family. Now, Andy, I'm kind of lax in English. I struggled during high school. But what research are they doing? I didn't even see that in the article. I was trying to look to
All
see
right,
what
that's
the
what I'm
hell what the hell
saying.
are they testing or what are they doing up
Like
there?
we're seeing how the purity of this ice or something. I don't
Yeah,
know. It doesn't really say. And then like two of the members are like one is like I made a movie and the other one's like I'm famous and rich in South Africa and we make skincare. I'm
right.
assuming it's something with skincare, some type of lotion. They really don't say. That
Yeah, I
was
thought it
one of
was
my
weird.
thoughts. Like, what are you doing down there?
The other thing that was kind of unique is that I see they're trying to hire two more people. Noel, I think this is a perfect opportunity. They pay not too bad, man.
Yeah. Nah, I'm good on that, man. To be stuck with people I don't know, nah, I'll skip all that.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's what are they doing? And then they're hiring more people. They're trying to hire more people. Um, I have a feeling in December, like, there's an update. They go there, like the base is empty and shit, and there's gonna be like this investigation, or they're all gonna be there singing like "Kumbaya," all happy. Like, what are you talking about? We've had a great time here, and it's just like, and then like the way the government just dismisses, it's normal for people to go crazy once they get there, but it'll settle down. But if they're emailing daily and bitching about it, I mean, to me, I think there's more. It ain't like a pissed off coworker, like something else is going on.
I wonder if it's gonna be like the movie The Thing, man, and they're gonna start attacking each other one by one.
But you never know, dude. Like to me, like I'm thinking, like if this in a corporate world type of thing, like where's the HR person? Like what do you do to it? What solutions do you present to this person to relax and calm down? And then like the guy or the person who is beating up everybody or whatever he's doing, um, what does he have going on where like he's like you can't fire me, like I'm good till December. Like so I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna be an asshole if I want. And that's what I'm saying, like it's just so like weird of the reaction of the government and like the way it's being handled. They're like just dismissing it. Now that leads me to believe like this is a serious issue. Like they're not telling us everything, like the JFK files.
You know what it reminds me of? That X-Files episode where they're in like stuck in Greenland looking at ice cores, and then there's like
Yeah.
something that comes out of the ice that like starts taking over and possessing people. Maybe it's like a wouldn't that be crazy if it was like something like that?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like they're being emailed every day, like bitching about them, and they're just like, it's normal. So now, like every time, like when people go up there, all these crews, I'm like, who went crazy the first couple weeks before everything went back to normal? Like, that's what I want to hear. Like, oh, that happens all the time. Don't worry about it. Like, is this the norm? And maybe this is being reported because it's from South Africa. So that's like my thing. Like, I think this is more common than we know, and that's why they're acting the way they are about it.
I mean, it must be because for them to be nonchalant about it and then even promote that they're hiring more, to me, it must be normal for people
Right?
to, flip their lid, when they're away from their families for this long.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it is. It would the reason I brought this up is because it's on multiple outlets, a lot of newspapers or online newspapers like the Post, the Guardian. It was trending on X for a while, and it sounds like just a cheap horror movie that's being made, and it's kind of died down, and it's not being it's not to when I read the article, like you're reading it, like they're not taking it seriously. They're just reporting on it. And then I'm like, we're gonna have to wait till fucking December when they go show up to pick up these people, and then everybody's fucking. There's no bodies. Everybody's just gone like always. Like it's this weird mystery, and they're gonna try to figure out what the fuck happened. And all these internet sleuths are gonna come on and say, there was no ping back to the cell tower, blah blah blah, some like stupid shit like that. And that was the last email that they sent. So now, I'm upset that we have to wait till December.
Yeah, at the top of the article, like you mentioned, it's funny how one of the guys actually filmed his horror movie there,
Yes.
their last visit. So to me, it's like, man, is that coming to reality? Are people freaking out from his? I wonder what the horror movie is, and I wonder if it's going to come out anytime soon.
It probably not. Well, maybe now because the guy who made it is like trapped up there, so it might have it's getting some free publicity, you know.
Yeah, maybe it'll come out like a Blair Witch lost movie, you know, like, hey, here's some lost footage from this guy. Yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
kind of
maybe that's what it would be. It'd be a lost footage film. You're right, man. And
yeah.
even though the trend's over, but yeah, that's what they're gonna find some fucking SD card up there with like footage, or they're and then they're like, this is the last recording and shit. He's like going fucking crazy.
Yeah, for sure. I would watch it for sure. But Andy, I think that's all for us today. We'd like to thank you all for listening to our show. Remember to follow Freeform Network on Facebook and X at Freeform Network. Send in those questions, suggestions. We really appreciate that. And visit our webpage at freeformnetwork.podbean.com. Hit that like and subscribe button on whatever you're using to listen to us through. Or if you're even watching us on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe. Spread the word. We really appreciate it. We have Noel here with us.
Thank everybody for joining us. We appreciate you.
And Andy.
It's all good, Andy. Thank you guys for listening, and hit us up on X, Facebook, or the email. Man, we'd like interacting with you guys.
For sure, man. And this is Daniel. I'd like to thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
That was cool, Dad.